Welcome to the Jesse Gender channel, a channel where we use geek and pop culture to discuss political, social, and sometimes just plain nerdy issues. And also a lot of Star Trek, because Star Trek is the best thing. But this channel touches on everything from comic books to video games to the crippling anxieties that I feel deep in my soul and can only find a way to express through video essays. So for the first video of this brand new decade, the years are going by really quickly, but it does mean we're getting closer to the Star Trek future. I want to share with you my plans for this channel in 2020 and beyond, and what I hope to achieve, because I think I have some really cool stuff on the horizon for you to enjoy. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell below to make sure you don't miss a single minute of it. Do it, I'm a captain, you have to do what I say. I'll wait. Alright, so before I get to where we're going, let's discuss where we're at. While this channel has been around for a bit, I really started investing into it in 2019. And I was really just trying to find what my voice was as a creator and what I wanted to say. Well, I found what speaks to me as a creator, and it's what I said at the top, using geek culture, particularly but not limited to Star Trek, to talk about prescient issues within our society today. Star Trek taught me at a young age that the stories that we tell each other, and particularly science fiction, has never been about the laser guns or cool aliens or the deep lore, even though I, and I'm sure all of you, love that stuff. No, the true splendor of science fiction has always been about looking at what it means to be human, and how we can find delight in the cultures and people around us. It's why geeks like us like to find each other and create communities built around our shared love of our favorite franchises and stories. That's what I want this channel to be about. Talking about what science fiction and geek culture actually means to us all, and what it can teach us both in its failures and successes, and build a community built around learning and shared passion. This past year, for me personally, has been one of the hardest of my life. I've had financial struggles, mental health issues crop up, as well as a lot of things in my personal and professional life that have been, to say the least, really hard to deal with. While I haven't completely resolved all of that, and there are some things that I'm still struggling with professionally and personally, I've had a place where at least I feel like I can finally start to build from. To begin to grow myself again, instead of just trying to survive the day. It's not perfect, and there's a lot of work I need to do, including some medical stuff that I'm really excited to finally start dealing with as it relates to me being transgender, that I'm planning to do this year. And because it'll be something that's obvious on this channel, I will mention it quickly here. I am planning on getting facial feminization surgery and breast augmentation. These are two surgeries that would really help with a lot of the mental health issues that I've been kind of struggling with the past year or so. My mental health issues haven't been just exclusive to those things, but they've been a part of it. So getting these surgeries will honestly mean a lot to me, and will make me feel more comfortable in myself and my body. So that's why, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, why giving to my Patreon will be really meaningful and helpful to me, especially during this next coming year. But back on track though, through all of this, the one thing that I've never lost passion for, throughout all the mental health issues and financial troubles and personal and professional troubles, was this channel. I realized through all of this that the thing that inspires me, that pushes me forward, is to create work that feels meaningful to myself, and then share that work with a community that shares my love of geekdom and a desire to be inspired by the world around me and to make that world a better place. Even if it's in just small, silly ways like educating about issues through Star Trek or a video game. So what does this actually mean for my channel? Well, a few things. You see, I really want to invest in this channel starting in 2020, to really make it grow into something that can be meaningful for all of us. I want to connect with all of you and help create that sense of community. So to that end, most importantly, I'm going to be building out tools for the community, mostly through my Patreon page. I'm going to be doing monthly hour-long live streams, typically the last weekend of every month, where I answer your questions and discuss things going on in the geek world, my own life, and beyond. The live streams will be on this channel on YouTube and available for everyone. However, for those live streams, any Patreon who gives at the $10 or above level will be guaranteed to have their question answered each month, with any other questions from the community that are asked during live streams going after that. I think that this will really allow the community to be able to come together, interact with me and each other. On top of that, I've created a Discord server for all of my Patrons so that you can interact with me, discuss my videos with each other, give me feedback, or just talk with each other about nerd and geek stuff. All that being said, I would ask that all of you who like my work, please consider giving to my Patreon page. This channel is really my passion, and I would love to be able to make it my full-time job one day. I want to do really ambitious stuff that inspires me creatively and professionally, but the only way to make that a reality is to grow my Patreon support. And I cannot tell you how much you supporting me on Patreon would mean to me. It also lets me get new equipment for this channel. It also helps me do more ambitious concepts and videos, as well as just really helping me out financially, as I talked about before earlier in the video. Plus, you get a lot of really cool perks, like your name in videos, access to the aforementioned Discord, shoutouts, and even get me to review movies or TV shows of your choice. So please, check me out over on Patreon if any of that sounds cool to you. So, most importantly, what's going to be happening to the bread and butter content of this channel? First things first, I've been releasing featured videos each and every Friday. These are the videos that I put the most work and effort into and include a lot of research, deeper edits, and an analysis of different topics. These are the ones that I am most proud of. So my Fridays are still going to continue to be my featured video days, with longer and stronger edits. However, every other Friday is going to feature an episode of Sacred Treks, my series where I take individual episodes of Star Trek as sacred and analyze them through a specific theme to try and see what we can learn for our daily lives. So Fridays will alternate between a featured video and a Sacred Trek. The reason I'm doing this is that Sacred Treks takes me a little less time to write and edit, as I'm typically only drawing from a single episode of the series instead of more elaborate sources. This will allow me more time to really invest into my featured videos, doing much stronger videos overall. Now, this isn't going to be a hard and fast rule. If there's a really big topical discussion that I want to feature, or I get really overeager and make extra videos, I may bump an episode of Sacred Treks, or release them both in that week, with Sacred Treks coming out earlier in the week or on the weekend. But for the most part, look for a featured video every other week, and then an episode of Sacred Treks on the off weeks. And my goal is eventually, once this channel is doing well enough that I can devote more time to it, that I'll be able to do a featured video every single week, as well as a Sacred Trek every week or every other week as well. But that's a bit off until I'm able to facilitate that. Next, starting late January or early February, once I move into my new apartment, I'm going to be doing even more weekly videos. I'm going to be creating a set where I can sit down and talk about the latest issues that are either topical or on my mind that week. These will typically be unscripted or lightly scripted discussions about something that's going on in the geek world that week or something that I feel is important to discuss. I'm going to promise to do at least one of these a week, with maybe more as I get more into the groove of it. I'm also going to continue my reviews of all things Star Trek. So when Star Trek Picard starts, look for my reviews of each episode going up either that night or sometimes the next day depending on my schedule. And this will continue with Star Trek Discovery, Short Treks, and all other Star Trek shows on the horizon. I'll also be doing more reviews of movies, TV shows, video games, and even comics as well that aren't necessarily Star Trek. Also, every month, at least one of my videos, either a weekly discussion video or a featured video, will be on an LGBTQ+ topic, and most likely a transgender issue, because LGBTQ issues are extremely near and dear to my heart, and as such, they're near and dear to this channel. Also, in case you hadn't heard, I do a weekly Star Trek role-playing game in the vein of Critical Role, with some of my favorite Star Trek YouTubers out there, Kat Walski, Lore Runner, and Lore Reloaded, every Monday live at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time over on Lore Reloaded's channel. I play a highly promiscuous bisexual Trill woman, which, to be fair, isn't really that much of a stretch for me, but I hope you get excited and go check us out there. So that's basically it for now. Monthly live streams and a Discord server that you can gain perks on through my Patreon. Featured videos every other Friday, with alternating Fridays being Sacred Treks. Weekday videos on current events or discussions. Reviews of all major Star Trek content, as well as additional reviews here and there. And at least one video, either the weekly discussion or featured video, being LGBTQ related. And a live weekly RPG role-playing game Monday evenings on Lore Reloaded's channel. All of these changes will be starting towards the end of January and beginning of February, as I'm moving into a new apartment and want a little bit of time to get settled. And I'm really excited to have all of you along for the ride. I do have a few other exciting plans that I hope to announce as the months go by or later this year, including maybe some fictional content, as well as bringing in some additional creators who I really adore and I know you will love on this channel. But my ability to do those things depends on how successful the rest of this channel is, both artistically and financially. So if you want to help make those a reality, please don't forget to subscribe, or even better, give to my Patreon. This channel has been one of the most meaningful creative outlets in my life, and I only hope to continue to grow that. And that's all thanks to you. So as always, I wish to all of you, live long and prosper. And special thanks to my commander level and above Patreons, Stefan Schuhart, Michael McGee, Boyd Earl, Law Lindley, Wellington Marcus, Munir Amlani, BBD, and Mari Nekar.